Caitlin Clark and Stephanie White are just not a good fit. They really aren't. And to be perfectly honest with you, at this point, I am not too sure if the front office of the Indiana Fever are a great fit. Now, mind you, I honestly think that Caitlin Clark has some options. Really, I do. There are 5 teams fixing to come into the league. There are a couple of teams that she would be a decent fit with. I like Caitlin Clark, I really do. I think any team that signs her will be lucky to have her. And I think she needs to have that option opened up to her. Seriously, I think she does. You take a look at they've got Toronto Tempo coming in, Portland's getting a team, Cleveland's getting a team, Detroit's getting a team, Philadelphia's getting a team. The Fever can no long can say, "Hey, we wanted to do something different, even though we got Caitlin Clark, and okay, she did good things for us, but well, Stephanie White's more important." They've already proven that Stephanie White's more important. WNBA's already proven that Stephanie White's more important. Everybody but Caitlin Clark is important to the WNBA. She wants to play, so if she wants to stay here in the United States, notice I said stay here in the United States. Getting traded is about the only thing that's a good fit for her at this point.
Hey folks, this is Paul with Redneck Sports. I want to thank you for viewing my video, and I want to give you one thought process. There was a famous coach at the University of Tennessee by the name of General Robert Neyland. He had 6 maxims, but number 2 maxim is what everybody should apply to their life. Play for and make the breaks. When one comes your way, score. That's how to live your life right there.
Oh, by the way, if you don't mind, hit like, subscribe. Also, I'm trying to raise about $3,000 to get my infrastructure a little bit better. If you don't mind, I have Patreon. Patreon's the only thing for my sports folks right now. Trying to get my YouTube up to being able to take in folks, but so see, I'm not asking you to give massive amounts of money. I just, a couple of bucks here and there. Um, but talking about Caitlin Clark, we've got a problem of Stephanie White doesn't. Stephanie White's killed the drive of this team. Some days they we got a drive, other days they're just sitting there like, we don't care. Watching this previous game that the Fever lost, the team just gave up. I mean, the team's a little bit better, and it's just right at 500. They're a 500 team, and that will probably help them get into the playoffs. But Caitlin Clark is not a fit for what Stephanie White wants. Seriously, Stephanie White has proven that she can win when you have certain types of players. But Caitlin Clark is not that. She's trying to change Caitlin Clark into what she wants. Stephanie White is one of the better options in a league that has bad options as coaches. Seriously, Don Staley could come into the WNBA and create a dynasty. Don't believe me? Pay attention to how she coaches. Lisa Mulkey. I don't like Lisa Mulkey as a coach. I just, even though I like LSU, and it's nothing against Lisa Mulkey personally, as a coach, I don't like her. Personality wise, I care less. She's fun to watch in an interview once in a while. She could come in and create a dynasty. For that matter, Iowa's coach could do that, or Stanford's coach, or so many of these coaches in the college level could come in and create a dynasty because there are so many horrific coaches in the WNBA. You take a look at the dude that's down at the wings. You take look at the dude that is coaching Chicago. Seriously, if you can't win or be it better than half the other teams, then you have to be failing up. You have to really be failing. That is how bad these coaches are. Well, Caitlin Clark and the rest of the Fever have lost their drive half the time, or most of the time they lose their drive. Stephanie White's already said she wants Caitlin Clark to play off the ball. In other words, you're wanting to change how she plays. So Caitlin Clark needs to go to another team. That's all there is to it. So let's take a look at the teams that she could go to. Now, let's first go with expansion teams because 2026 is going to see the Toronto Tempo and whatever they're going to name the Portland team. Both those start in 2026. So you're going to get your first Canadian team in the WNBA. And you've got whoever's replacing the Portland Fire. Both of those teams will have a fresh outlook. Now, I'm not sure if Toronto and Portland are doing what Cleveland, Detroit, and Philly are, which is they are going the I know that Cleveland, Detroit, and Philly are going to have owners that are also connected to the NBA. If Toronto and Portland are going to be having that same outlook, this would be a good thing. So, Toronto or Portland, I'm sure, would love for her to not be put into a position to be considered a franchise player. Let them take her. They would love it. I can imagine they would love that. For that matter, okay, I'm an LA Sparks fan. I have said it before. Kelsey Plum, Cameron Brink, and Caitlin Clark. Now, I don't know what else needs to be done. The Sparks are 6-14 right now. I don't know when Cameron Brink's coming back. You're looking at Kelsey Plum's team leader in points, Azura Stevens rebounds leader, Kelsey Plum's leader in assists. So they've already got a point guard. Unfortunately, that would be not the team, but I would love to see her wearing Sparks colors. But unfortunately, that's just not going to be the case. I'm sorry. Looking at that, let's go with no. Well, the Sun are going to be moving. The Sun are currently 3-16. That would be a interesting look. Going to, I mean, Sun are probably moving. Tina Charles is scoring 15.5 points. Sanaya Rivers, 3.1 assists. In other words, okay, 1.6 steals from Sanaya Rivers. Olivia Nelson Adota is 6.2 rebounds. And Adota's also got 1.4 blocks. So, in other words, this is a team that's fairly young. Looks like they could actually use a player like Caitlin. So the Sun would be one. I wouldn't go with the Mystics. I wouldn't go with the Aces. Aces and their culture, I just don't think really fit. Um, the reason why I wouldn't want to go with LA is because Kelsey Plum's doing a really good job there, and they needed her. Uh, Lynx, no. Atlanta, no. Dallas, no, because they've already got a good player. For all the things with Paige Beckers, I honestly believe Paige Beckers, with the right team around her, I think they could turn that around. They just need a better coach. They need to trade their coach. Um, Liberty don't need her currently. Uh, Chicago's a no. Um, doubt that the Mercury would need her. They've got Satu Sabli. Uh, so they don't need a point guard. I'm looking at this. Golden State doesn't need her. I mean, I like what Golden State's doing right now. Golden State is 10-9. Uh, just beat the Fever, 80-61. So no, they don't. Kayla Thornton is doing too many good things there. Veronica Burton's doing good things there. So maybe the Sun, Seattle Storm don't need her. There's very few teams. So you've got an expansion team or possibly Connecticut. Maybe. Maybe the Aces, but I wouldn't want her to have to end up there. Um, but they've got A'ja Wilson, and for everything that you look at, A'ja Wilson. So basically, the Connecticut Sun are the team that would really need her. So that's my considerations. You've got the Sun, you've got Toronto, or you've got Portland. That's my thought process on this. Now, look, some people might go, "Why aren't you saying Chicago?" For the simple fact of that Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark do not need to be on the same team together. I would love to see it. It sounds like it would be cool, but no, no, that should not happen. When you've got one player who has mental problems when it comes to another player, they should not be on the same team together. And honestly, that's the way it looks whenever Angel Reese is on the court with Caitlin Clark. It's like there's a hatred or something there. So, what do you think? Which team do you think she needs to be traded to? Because at this point, I don't see any other option for her to be able to do anything. And in all honesty, considering how the players treat her, I would say no to I would say no to Unrivaled if I was her. Seriously. Unrivaled does not need Caitlin Clark. They are probably going to fail, number one. Number two, the players treat Caitlin Clark like garbage in the league. Too many players are trying to harm Clark. Okay, why should she go play with the same players? She could be treated better overseas and be able to spend summers with her boyfriend. She could leave the WNBA. She doesn't have to play basketball in the US. She would be paid better, be better appreciated. Oh, and less drama. I don't want to see that, so if she stays with the WNBA, this is the way that she's going to have to do it. That's at least what I think. So what you tell me, what do you think? This has been Paul with Redneck Sports. Y'all have a good day now. Bye.
I want to thank you for watching my video. And if you like what you saw, like, subscribe, and comment. Y'all have a good day now.